My name's Kelly. I'm a CBT therapist and forensic psychologist, and today I'm going to be talking about systematic reviews. But please, before you carry on watching, if you do want to know more about forensic psychology, CBT, please make sure you like and subscribe. I have loads of other videos that are about loads of different topics within CBT and forensic psychology. But today, as I said, I'm going to be talking about systematic reviews because I am currently studying for my doctorate in forensic psychology. So I am by no means an expert in systematic reviews, but I wanted to share what I've learned so far. So firstly, figure out what it is you actually want to find out with your systematic review. So a systematic review is similar to a literature review. However, what makes it systematic is that it can be repeated, it's replicable. So it's really clear what steps you have taken. So someone could literally pick up your protocol, your plan for your review and do it. And that's what makes it different. So first of all, you need to come up with your question. You need to really understand what is it that you want to know. Is it a how question? Is it how do people overcome trauma in their childhood? But then you maybe want to be more specific, thinking about, okay, so how does someone overcome trauma in their childhood through cognitive behavioural therapy? Or it could be a what question. So what factors make therapy more successful, or what factors help someone to stop reoffending? So within that, you really want to get a really clear question. And to help you formulate your question, there is the PICO criteria, so PICO. So within this, you've got there's loads of different ones. There's a spider one, but I use PICO because I found it quite helpful. So the P is the population. So what is the population that you want to look at within the review? Is it therapists? Is it prison officers? Is it nurses? Is it psychologists? Think about what is that population that you want to look at. Then you've got the I is the intervention. So what is it within the review that is going to be classed as the intervention? Is it going to be a psychological therapy? Is it going to be a type of training? What is it that is going to intervene with that population? Then you've got the C, which is the comparator. So what is it that is what are you going to compare? What is it that you're going to be looking at? Is it just simply if the intervention makes a difference or not a difference? Or are you going to be potentially comparing one intervention to another? So what is that comparison group? Or it could be there's something called active comparators. So they're kind of thinking about the variables. So what are the variables within that could actually make a difference? And then you've got the O, which is the outcome. So what is the outcome that you are looking at? So for example, I'm looking at how staff attitudes are impacted following training. So my population are a range of staffing groups, so from prison officers to nurses. The intervention is the training itself, so what type of the training that is aiming to change the attitudes. My comparator is the different active variables, so how long the training was, what method of the training was delivered, if the training was repeated. So they're kind of the comparators that are the active ones. And then the outcome is if the attitudes were changed. So that is how the PICO works for mine. So that helped me to really formulate my question. So you've got your question now, and then what you want to think about is the actual review part. So this is where you have to come up with your search terms. This is, if you are doing this in a library, ask your librarian, because they are absolutely amazing at understanding all the search terms. And it may be that you want to think about breaking it down with the PICO, so thinking about the search terms that would meet each one. So for me, the population would be obviously all the different search terms of the different client group, the staffing groups. Then for the intervention, we'll be looking at all different types of training or workshops. So I'd be thinking about search terms, what other words would be used for training, so workshops, programs, things like that. And then when you've got the comparator, so what is it that you're kind of looking at? Is it obviously the length of time, the staffing groups, or is it, as I said, looking at a different type of training? So is it kind of versus something else? And then the outcome. So what is it that you're actually looking for actually changing? So you're able to then be able to narrow down your search terms. I said my search terms included all the staffing groups, and it included different words for trainings and workshops. Then it included different words for attitude, so attitude, stereotypes, perceptions, judgments, and then kind of the outcome, so kind of attitudinal change or measures. And once you start to familiarize yourself with the data or the empirical research, you'll start to see themes of words that are coming up. So you'll recognize, okay, so if in certain places they use workshops instead of trainings, then you'll start to think about kind of the different words. And I just started to type it all, kind of gathered a big document of all the different words that I thought could be helpful. And then, as I said, I spoke to my librarian, and we looked at the Boolean operators. So they are all the different symbols that you would use if you're searching a database or a library archive, that would allow you to, say for example, if you put a star, an asterisk at the end of certain words, it would allow you to have the word attitude. But if you put the star, it would allow, maybe it would put attitudes as well, so it would look for attitude and attitudes. Same if you put it in the middle of a word, it may look up American and English spelling. That's a whole video for another time, but being aware that there can be some shortcuts to help you to be able to cover a wider amount. So that's your search strategy. And within your systematic review, you want to be able to practice your search strategy. So you have something called scoping searches, which are your initial searches where you start to just feel out your search terms, see how they work together. Are there some studies that you know that aren't being pulled up by the search terms? If so, having a look at those articles and being like, okay, well, that's the word that's missing. So adding it into your search terms. So once you've done that, you've got your search terms and you've done a lot of scoping searches, maybe getting someone else to have a look at your terms as well, thinking, is there anything else that I'm missing? And then once you've done that, you've got also to develop an inclusion and exclusion criteria. So within this is what you want to look at that is going to help you to narrow down your searches, because you could get thousands of hits. So your inclusion criteria could be only looking at studies that allow me to compute the effect size, or it could be only studies that are in the UK. It could be the exclusion criteria could be excluding journal articles or dissertations that haven't been written in English. So thinking about what do you want to definitely include and what do you want to definitely exclude, and they're going to come in handy later. And you again use your librarian, use other people to think, okay, is that what I need? And there will be a few of them. So you have your PICO to help you set up your search terms, obviously kind of be informed by your question. You've got your search strategy, but you've also got this inclusion and exclusion criteria, which is going to be developed as you're going on, that's going to help you once you get to the review part. And you've got the Prisma guidelines, which are super helpful for kind of helping you to structure your review. So you've got your search terms, you've got your search strategy now, you've practiced it a few times, and then it's about setting time aside to do your final search. And anything that you're doing, make sure you record that you've got a clear, I suppose, guide of what you've been doing. So because that's what makes it systematic. You're going through a process and you're allowing someone else in the future to potentially pick up what you've done and replicate it. So once you've done that, you have got your search terms, you've got your PICO, you've got your inclusion and exclusion criteria. It's time for the final search. And then the fun begins. So you go through that, you could go through a couple of databases, and then you get all of the articles that come up. You want to go through and remove the duplicates, because there's going to be some around. Some of the databases has a way that you can do that. And then what you want to do is to start to look at the abstracts. So you do a abstract and a title screen So you're kind of going through all the abstracts and all the titles and seeing, does that meet your exclusion and exclusion criteria? Does that meet the PICO? And just going through that. Once you've done that, which can take some time depending on how many you've got that come up. Once you've done that, so you've screened the articles for the title and the abstract. Once you've done that, you've going to have a smaller amount, and again, you're recording everything that you're doing. Then you are going to go through the full articles. So you're going to, again, be reading through the full articles, bearing in mind your PICO, your inclusion and exclusion criteria. And again, this is going to take some time. And once you've done that, you have your final articles. So you've got to that systematic part, you've got to that final part. And then comes the analysis. So you could do a quantitative analysis, such as a meta-analysis or a meta-aggression, or you could do a qualitative analysis, such as a narrative synthesis. I'm not going to go into either of them right now because I'll be here for a lot longer. But I hope that helps to understand a little bit more about a systematic review, how you could do it, and how you can also apply it to your learning or your practice. If you do have any questions, as I said, I'm by no means an expert. I've just been learning how to do this myself, but I feel like I've got a really good grip on what I'm doing with that. So yeah, any questions, please drop them in the comments. Again, I hope you found that helpful. I've got some more videos coming up about my research journey. So again, any questions related to that or just any other videos that you'd like to see. Please remember to like and subscribe, and thank you again for watching.